Good evening, everyone. My name is Narayan Vetrekar. I'm from School of Physical and Applied Sciences, Goa University. This particular topic is based on employing non-destructive approach of spectral imaging to detect artificially degreened lemon. So the outline of the presentation, I'll be covering the introduction, motivation to choose this work, followed by contribution, the database that is collected for the analysis and the experiment, the methodology, and then the followed by that, there will be the experiments and the results, and finally the conclusion. So lemon, as we know, is a non-climatic citrus fruit, and it has a lot of health benefits due to which it has been widely consumed by various community across the globe. And what we observed in case of lemon is that since it is non-climatic, it does not show any display of softening effect, especially the characteristics of ripening after the harvesting. So this happens due to the decline in the respiration rate and the ethylene production. Whereas if you look at the climatic the fruits such as the banana and all. So basically, when you harvest, they usually produce the ethylene, and then hence results in the degradation of chlorophyll present, which results in the ripening of the fruits. So having said that, what all understanding about the ripening is that the customer perception is that the maturity of the citrus fruits basically depend upon the exterior pill. Okay, and hence, uh, which was one of the criteria people select when they try to buy the citrus fruits. So due to increasing demand, there has been observation that the lemon has been degreened artificially to alter the appearance of the fruit to yellow color. And degreening basically the process of application of ethylene gas in a controlled manner, which results in degradation of the chlorophyll present in the range of the citrus fruit. Whereas the guidelines of all over world varies across the countries. So some countries allows to use the limited applicability of the ethylene for the ripening, whereas what happens in majority of the countries is that due to the cost and the limited availability, people try to adopt the crude method, wherein they try to use the industrial grade calcium carbide, which is basically the toxic and carcinogenic in terms of its effects are considered. And they basically use to release this acetylene gas to degreen the lemon. So these are some of the facts which has been adopted in between when the harvesting happens, and it has and the ultimately the citrus fruits reach to the customer. So, although calcium carbide is basically banned in majority of the countries, but people try to use in illegal manner, okay, especially in underdeveloped countries, okay. Uh, for detection of these techniques, there are no studies which we could find out. Although we found out some of the studies which we basically try to analyze the quality of the fruits, okay, especially the chemical treatment, wherein these are basically the laboratory-based method where the destruction basically happens taking the pill of the fruit, and then by chemical analysis you try to detect what is the kind of the chemical basically has been present inside the fruit. Okay, so inspired by this, what we intend to do is that people try to adopt these non-destructive approach, wherein they try to use the spectral imaging approach, okay, to analyze the quality of the fruit. So as of now, we did not found any work of detecting the degreening of the lemon or any citrus fruits. Okay, so basically the idea is to extract these complementary information across these visible and near infrared range in a discrete and a disjoint manner. Like say, for example, the images which has been shown in the slide, wherein we take the images across different bands in a narrow spectrum range from 400 to 1000 nanometer range. So that was the idea to use this particular strategy of non-destructive approach, wherein we don't have to crush the fruit. We straight away use this imaging approach and then do the analysis whether we can do the detection or not. So that was the whole idea to do that. So based on that, we have a number of contributions to this paper. So the first one is we explore the non-destructive approach of spectral imaging based on visible and near infrared range to distinguish between the naturally degreened and the artificially degreened lemon. And for that, since there are no data set available, we have developed this, acquired the data set, which we call it as a spectral imaging database. In short, we call it a special data set to collect, which was collected in 8 bands in the range from 530 nanometer to 1000 nanometer. And then we have several benchmark results across individual spectral band using 6 different texture extraction method, and the classifier that we have used is SVM classifier. So for that, in the first case, we developed the data set. So the idea is to develop the protocol, which we have done it with our local ICR institute in Goa, wherein we understand how the protocol has to be designed for natural and artificially degreening of the lemon. So in first case, for natural, it was done without any chemical treatment, whereas in case of artificial degreening case, we have used the calcium carbide in a closed chamber in reaction with the water, so as to release the acetylene gas, and then we do this treatment to degreen the lemon. So that's where we call it as artificial degreen. So these were the two categories which we have done it for natural and the artificial ripening. And to acquire the data set, we have custom built a spectral imaging sensor, which was done with the sensor, which is 1.3 megapixel, having the specification of 1.3 megapixel, and in the range from 400 to 1000 nanometer. And to get the spectral band images, we have several filters which are shown here, which are narrow band filters from 530 nanometer to 1000 nanometer. And we have the C-mount lens, which is again in the range of 400 to 1000 nanometer, which is of our requirement. So based on these sensor, we have collected these data set for 2 different categories, and around 7,168 sample images we have collected, of which we have used 112 lemon field, in which 56 are normally green and 56 are artificially degreened lemon fruits. And this entire data set which is collected was in 2 sessions with 2 sample per session and 8 bands, and for 2 different sites we have done this data collection, and for each category around 3,584 sample images have been collected. So the methodologies that we have used, we use very simple methodology based on the earlier work. So in the first case, we have, since the data has been collected for the 2 sites, so we just take these images and then crop this region of interest which are present. So this has been done randomly. There is no hard and fast rule for this. And then to make everything very simple, so we just concatenate all these, the region which have been extracted. And then we do the feature extraction by some 6 feature descriptor method, which has been used in the quality analysis. And then finally, we do the learning to classify the 2-class problem, which based on SVM classifier. So it's a simple process that we have adopted. And for experimental analysis, again, the idea is to do the classification based on the individual band performance across each of these 6 feature extractor method. So for that, the performance matrix that we used was the accuracy, and it was done it in 10-fold cross validation, where training and the testing has been selected randomly for 10 different times with no overlap between the data set. And these are the partition of the data set in the training and the testing set, of which 25 of natural and 25 of the artificial degreen along with their samples, we use it in the training, and the remaining we 31 and 31 in artificial natural in the testing. So everything was done in the disjoint manner. There's no overlap. And these are some of the results which we have obtained across each of these algorithms. Okay, and then the accuracy and the F1 scores have been obtained for individual band. So based on these results, what we observed is that the each of these bands are performing consistently better, with no band performing exclusively better for all these methodologies or exclusively for all these particular type of band. So these are the box plots that we have obtained, which talks about the mean and variance for various algorithm. The highest accuracy that we have obtained was 93.5% with 1.3% standard deviation in the accuracy for the LPQ method. So one of the things that we observed across all these bands is that some of these bands such as 590, 650, 710 and 770 and 890, the performance was consistently better due to the high signal to noise ratio as far as the sensor response and the optical properties of the filters are concerned. So these are the results that we have obtained based on the experimental setup. Finally, in the conclusion, what we have obtained out of these paper is that we have presented a non-destructive approach, which in the literature, no one has done it. So it's the first time that has been utilized the spectral imaging approach to detect the artificially degreened lemon. A newly constructed spectral imaging lemon data set, which will comprise of 7,168 sample images, which can be used for benchmarking the results. And this approach can be highly, one can suitably use for real-time analysis in the supply chain also. So the future work would be to analyze this for various thickness level of the pill and for other fruits as well. So these are the preliminary work that we have just started working on. So the other fruits that we have already tested was the banana. So this is another fruit which we have done it for degreening process, especially using this the artificial ripening chemicals. Thank you so much.